I am a failure. Or at least that's what I used to tell myself. And maybe you've told yourself something like that too. Maybe it's when you've studied for hours only to blank out in the exam hall. Or when you have given your all towards planning a project only for someone to point out what you had missed. Or maybe it's when you're just scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to everyone else who seems like they have gotten their lives together. That is when frustration builds, and anger too. On the outside, it seems like everything is fine, but on the inside, it feels like a storm. Storms are loud, messy, and unpredictable. And the funniest part is that in the middle of them all, we are expected to keep smiling. And the kind of storm I'm talking about isn't just rain and thunder. I'm referring to those that we can also call whirlwinds or cyclones, the kinds that consist of two key parts, namely the eye and the squalls. The squalls are these sudden gusts of wind that knock you over, while the eye is a calm, quiet center where everything is still. In life, we're constantly moving between the two. On one day, we are getting hit by all these squalls, but on the other, we stand calmly within the eye. Like the time 3 deadlines fell within the same week, and I remember staring at my laptop at 2 a.m., trying my best not to fall asleep. Or like the time I thought I had studied hard enough for my chemistry test, only to receive a result that felt like a punch to the stomach. Now those are the squalls, the sudden gusts of wind that knock you off your balance before you even realize what's going on. With that being said, my biggest squall hit me 4 years ago at the ripe age of 13. And even though it is an embarrassing story to share, I think it's an important one so that all of you know that you're not alone. I had just started out in a new school and I did not fit in. My grades were constantly below average. I only had one true friend, and there were rumors being spread about me across the whole school. People made fun of me. And the worst part is, I believed them. I started to skip meals. I kept to myself, and I truly believed that my life was over. Because the funny thing about being 13 is that you think one bad moment defines the rest of your life. And I share this because maybe you felt that way too, that one bad chapter had written the rest of the book. I share this because even today, even just standing here, I still hear the echoes of that storm. And if you've ever brought a past failure into your present, you know how easy it is for the squalls to come back. After that year, every mistake felt heavier. So I thought I'd find an escape. I knew that if I could somehow escape the storm, then I would finally be able to enjoy freedom. So my great solution to the storm was through achievements. I firmly believed that if I scored well enough on my exams, if I landed enough roles, and if I won enough awards, then I could finally prove to everyone that I am not the same girl that I was when I was 13. And at least on paper, it would seem like I had my life together. To be very honest, initially, this did work. But like most things, it was temporary. I soon became an addict. Addicted to the rush of achievement. Addicted to the sense of security that I fooled myself into believing. And this addiction ruled my life between the ages of 13 to 16. In everything I did, my main purpose and drive was to prove everyone wrong, to prove that I had become a new and improved version of myself. So with every test score I got back, every new role I landed, every new award won, I felt a high. But slowly, the calm wore off, and I found myself chasing the next. Believe it or not, there's actually a name for this. Psychologists call it the arrival fallacy. The arrival fallacy refers to the belief that once you have arrived or achieved your next goal, you will finally feel complete. Well, let me tell you a secret. That moment never comes. And I share this because you've probably told yourself that before. That once I pass this exam, once I win this award, just once, I'll finally be okay. But that's simply not the truth. Because the storm doesn't disappear when achievement comes. It only grows louder. Recently, there was this event that I had put my best efforts into planning. And I truly thought that this time, everything would be perfect and I would finally be enough. Well, guess what? I was wrong. People always had something to say. And I, for one, was never satisfied with myself or what I had achieved. And for better or worse, this is when I realized that you cannot outrun the storm. Instead, you have to try your best to anchor yourself to the eye. And for me, that meant acceptance. Acceptance that the storm exists and that it may never go away. Acceptance that I may not be able to control every squall that hits me, but I can control how I make my way towards the eye. On that note, I would like to share a quote that really resonated with me during this time, which is none other than to feel but don't dwell. It is okay to feel the rain and feel the wind. It is all right to sit in your feelings of disappointment, anger, frustration, you name it. But don't let it sweep you away. And I think that's something we all need to remember. Because this doesn't just apply to me. This applies to everyone. And I mean quite literally everyone. For some, maybe it's exams. For others, expectations or uncertainty about the future. Regardless of whatever it is, we are unable to control the squalls that come our way. But what we can do is choose how we respond. Whether we let ourselves spiral, or whether we let ourselves stay calmly within the eye. And one thing that really helped me through all of this was understanding that even if you're in your own storm, you can still be the eye for someone else. Because here's the truth. Everyone struggles. No one is as put together as they may seem, and you are not alone. During my lowest points, what helped me weren't the $100 gifts or being constantly told that it will all be over soon. It were the friends who really took the initiative to show their support through action. Whether it is by lending me a listening ear or surprising me my favorite cup of coffee, those small actions were what cut through the noise of the storm. So maybe the question isn't, how do I make my way towards the eye? But also, how can I be the eye for someone else? Because here's the truth. Storms don't disappear. And life, it won't suddenly get easier. So stop trying to escape the storm. And instead, stay within it. Stay within the eye. Because the storm is here to stay. Squalls will always make you feel terrible. But don't let them rule over your life. So say goodbye to them like an old friend. Look ahead and make your way calmly towards the eye. That is when we learn to live within each storm. Thank you.